Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a pencil dress with gathers or pleats at the sides, and then the neck is going to be a round neck with a bishop collar. So by now I'm sure we are familiar with how to make our basic bodice. What I've done so far is just to take my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, and then I went down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. For my neck width I took 3 inches and I connected these 3 inches to my shoulder slope. So for the back neckline I took 1 inch down, and for the front neckline 3 inches depth, and I used my curved ruler to make these curves. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now is to measure my bust. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 8 3/4. I have it right here, and then I used my curved ruler to take my armhole curve. So now I'm going to move over to the waist. The waist is 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5. Because I'm going to be adding half inch that to it, that's 1 inch in all. I'll add it to that and it's going to give me 8.5. Okay, so this is my actual measurement. I'm adding 2 inch seam allowance to each of them, and then I'm going to connect it. So this is my allowance and this is my actual measurement. So now I'm going to take my bust span measurement, which is 4 inches, and then for my dart, remember you have to go 2 inches below your bust point, or 1 inch. The bust point of the person I'm working with is 11 inches. So on this 13 inches I'm going 2 inches below my bust point. So this is my bust point here, 11. 2 inches below 11 is 13. So I'm stopping this here, and then on the 13 mark I'm going to take my 4 inches again and then make this into a straight line so that I can take my waist dart. So on this point I'm taking half inch on both sides, and then using my ruler I'm going to connect that like this, and my basic bodice is ready. I'm using a silk fabric and it's very slippery, that's why I'm drafting on paper. So I'm going to be transferring this to my fabric later on with the aid of pins. Okay, so that is all I need to get my basic bodice. I'm just going to cut this out now, and when I want to cut the back bodice I'll include my zipper allowance because it's a fitted dress and it will need a zipper for the wearer to be able to wear it easily. Okay, so I've replicated this on my fabric now. So you can see this is the back bodice with the same zipper allowance, and I added extra half inch allowance because I just remember this person wants a lot of allowance on the dress. Okay, so this is the front bodice. I'm just going to cut out my front neckline. Now remember, the front neckline is deeper than the back neckline, so I can't cut it together. So now I'm cutting my front neckline, and I have this. So this is my front and this is my back. I'm going to set this aside now, and then I've cut my skirt part. So it's very simple, the regular way you cut your basic skirt. You just need to take your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and your hem measurement, and then connect it together. This is the front and this is the back with the zipper allowance. So now we just go straight into sewing it. And also, before I go for sewing, the dress is going to be having a bishop collar. So I already cut 2 pieces for my bishop collar, and then I ironed stay just for it to be stronger. Okay, so these are my 2 pieces for my collar, and it also has pleatings, like fabric pleated on the sides of the skirt. So I cut a 4 inches fabric on fold, so by the time I open it up it's going to give me 8 inches. So this is 4 inches, and when I open it it's going to give me 8 inches, and then I ironed paper stay, just the soft paper stay, because this is silk fabric and it's very slippery. So just for me to be able to control it, I ironed the stay, and then I took it to the ironing table and I gave it a good press. So this will be pleated on the sides of my skirt. I cut 2 of these for each side of the skirt. So depending on the amount of pleats you want, this is actually 15 inches long, and like I said, it is 4 inches wide on fold. Okay, so this is 4 inches on fold and it is 15 inches long for each of them. And I've also cut the sleeve. It's a regular flare sleeve, it's a small flare sleeve. You can also cut it in form of guard as well. I'm going with this. It's 6 inches, and I used the round armhole measurement of the client to get the radius on my sleeve of my flare. I already have a video on how to cut a flare sleeve on the channel. You can check that out. So now that we are done with all our cutting, I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine now, and then we start to sew. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to take my darts and then join my upper part to the lower part. So I'll do that now and bring it back to show us. Okay, so now I've sewn in my darts. Like I said, I took the darts and I joined them together on the half length. So this is the front, and I've done the same thing for the back also. So this is the back also. I've taken in my darts on both the upper and the lower bodies, and then I joined them on the half length. So I just went ahead to sew in my zipper. Okay, now I'm going to keep that and work on the front. Remember I said that the gown is going to be having some pleats on the sides, okay, and we already have a fabric that we're using for that. So now, just like I did on this side, by running some pleats, let me bring this. Okay, so by running some pleats around here, I'll go over to the other side like this, take my 4 inches by 50 inches fabric, and then I'm going to start pleating it on the sides like this, inside the allowance. Remember, this must not show outside, so you should make sure that whatever you're pleating should still be on your allowance, so that by the time we sew the front to the back, it will be inside. So we just need to run our pleats like this, so that by the time we finish sewing it to the back, it's going to be neat, just like this. I hope you can see this. The fabric is a bit colorful, so okay, so we'll have something like this by the time we're done. So I've done this for this side. Now I just go over to the machine now and take my fabric and then pleat. I'm going to pleat it like I did for this to this side also. So after pleating it, I'll just join both on the shoulder and then shape the sides before we attach our collar. Okay, so a trick you can use to make the pleat easier for you is to just pleat the fabric independently first. So when you're done with pleating the fabric, just bring it over to the main body and then pin it before you start sewing. So that way it's easier for you to control. Okay, so I just thought to show us that. So I'm going to pin this to my main fabric now, and then I'll take it to the machine and then sew them together. So now the pleats have been sewn on both sides. So this is one side and this is the other side. The next thing I'll do now is to bring in my back bodies, and then I'm going to join them together with the front on the shoulder like this, and then I'm going to shape the sides. So now I've sewn the shoulder together like this, and then I've shaped the sides, you can see, using my seam allowance. So once I turn it out, we'll see what we have. Okay, now that it has been turned out, you can see that our pleats are there, and like I said, it has to enter inside your seam allowance so that it will not be showing outside like this. Okay, so we just give this a good press and our dress is almost ready. So this is the upper part. Now what I'm left with is to fix my collar and then my sleeve, hem the hem line, and then our dress is ready.